Friends, The Got Life, the movie which has become the talk of the town nowadays. It's a real life story of Najib Muhammad. To me, I found it was an exemplary movie. Great editing, great camera work, great music, great art direction, the great direction of the movie, acting. Everything was great in that splendid movie. By any means on par with some of the best made movies abroad. So much so the people are now talking about likelihood of this movie winning some Oscar awards. Along with the great appreciations all around, there are also quite a lot of debates generated from this movie. There's one controversy about no justice given to Najib and he's being exploited by the novelist and the movie director. There are other complaints that the movie is too long, a bit dragging, and there are rumors that the movie is not as good as the novel, or the novel is deviating from the actual life history of Najib, and things like that. A lot of controversies around. In this video, I'm not going to talk about any of those controversies, or even I'm not going to give a detailed review of the movie, how good the movie, how bad the movie. The whole purpose is not doing an analysis of the movie. There are several powerful messages brought out by the movie. Intentionally or unintentionally, there are some strong messages, very important messages, eye-opening messages. As people know, this is essentially a survival story, so it glorifies the endurance of human spirit, which is a strong message anyway. As the film portrays Najib's harrowing experience in the desert, highlighting his incredible resilience in the face of extreme hardship. It emphasizes that human spirit can find a way to endure even unimaginable sufferings. There's a lot of evidence to support this. In fact, we have heard many such stories of survival stories and various other stories where human spirit endurance is put to test and people have come out in flying colors. In history, you can see such innumerable stories of coming out through hardships of war, natural disasters. So this movie gives out such a message and a great inspiration for people who are going through the hardships, who are going through the bad way of their life, with some hope, the light on the other side of the tunnel. The only character, Hakim, in this movie, played magnificently by Mr. K.R. Gokul. He succumbs to the tortures of his life, which is a sad thing to happen. While the sufferings can be brutal, it can also be a catalyst for immense growth and positive change. It can push us to find a strength which we never realized was there within us and fight for a better future. It's always said that the adverse situations bring out the best in you. If you are in a very comfortable environment, you definitely don't get the best out of you. As far as the importance of hope, Najib clings to the memories of his family and dreams of a better future. This unwavering hope serves as a beacon, guiding him through the darkest of the moments. Importance of hope. Hope for a future, hope for a better tomorrow. The movie also brings out a very important aspect to ponder on. That is the exploitation of labor in places like these Gulf countries. What is shown in this movie is a horrific example of human suffering and exploitation of cheap labor. Although you can see many stories of workers banding together, advocating their rights and finding moments of joy through connecting each other, even during harsh conditions. The Got Life story sheds light to the harsh reality of migrant workers who can be deceived and forced into slave-like working conditions. It critiques the system that exploits human vulnerability. The exploitation of human labor in places like Gulf countries is well documented. It could be due to various factors, things like high demand, low regulations, and low enforcement of rules and systems and procedures. The rapid economic growth in many countries relied heavily on these migrant workers for construction, for domestic services, for cheap labor. However, chief enforcements and regulatory rules and regulations allow employers to exploit readily available workforce. The kafala system That is a sponsorship system which tries to take away the passports and visas, things like that, from the workers, which gives an immense control for the employer. Workers face passport confiscation, restricted movement, the many abuses these laborers are subjected to. Things like low wages and unpaid wages, excessive working hours, no breaks, brutal conditions, excessive heat, dust, poor living conditions, housing. What is being done to come out of this? International organizations like UN and ILO has a lot to do in this respect of pressurizing Gulf countries and all to improve the situations, working environment. Some countries are already doing improvements in the kafala systems, but the progress is very slow. Worker advocacy groups, they're trying to create awareness among the laborers. This movie was banned in many of the Gulf countries, especially the Gulf Cooperation Council, the GCC countries. They are Bahrain, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Oman and Qatar. Only UAE had initially allowed this movie. Later on, Bahrain also allowed, but still not allowed in other countries. At one side, you can see that the movie compels the viewers to appreciate the basic necessities of life. That is food, water, and of course, freedom. That often we think we take it for granted. At many places, you can feel the importance of water as a life-saving nature's gift. The people who are greedy, they're destroying the forests and they're not bothered about the environmental protection. Ultimately, water is going to become a scarce resource. Even places where we have plenty of rivers and streams, things like that, we have already started feeling the shortage of water, which is very critical. This movie clearly brings out the importance, the hero struggles for water, even for basic necessities of life is not having water. The movie shows these aspects in very, very raw and touching scenes. After a long time, when the hero gets a chance to utilize water, the ecstasy he undergoes, when the water falls on his face, and when he is denied the use of water for even the basic needs of life. Another important aspect is the power of human connection. Man is a social animal. When the hero goes through a life of a total isolation, he finds solace in the memories of his loved ones. It clearly brings out the importance of human connection and isolation. The transformation they're shown in the movie is tremendous. The person who comes from a place like Kerala, the lush green environment, the rivers and streams and things like that, he is shifted to a place which is a desert, where there's scarcity of water, food, fresh air. So the movie and the story brings out a lot of thought-provoking aspects of life. Why people flock into a place which is not at all good in the real sense, shifting from a place which is nature's gift to a place which is having very poor conditions. Is it for the greed, for the money? Is it grass is green on the other side, sort of human psychology? Or is it because of the unwanted people like certain agents and all who exploit the people, sell them some dreams and they cheat? The vulnerable people, the uneducated people, they're getting cheated in the hands of some of these agents. They're exploiting the psychological human greed. People in the search of those elusive happiness, they're not able to be happy with what they have. They're not having the gratitude of the blessings they already have, even if they are living in the best of the world, the best of what they have, or they are not able to find happiness from what they have. It also brings out the importance of education, skill development, which is very, very critical when it comes to looking out for job opportunities outside. If you want to make yourself indispensable and if you want to be in demand by someone. Another very important, interesting role in this movie, the Ibrahim Qadri. For Najib, he was like a god in the desert. The stubborn and rigid person, but a wonderful personality he was. Although he was a thief, he guided them, cared for them, and disappeared forever after giving him a bottle of water and a dry date for survival. Person like waiting for the Godot, waiting for the God. He was like a god in the desert. So, the movie also shows the glimpses of human love and affection and good nature and doing help to others. So, come to think of it, the movie, although under a lot of controversies and debate and discussions going on in the media, there are a lot of good messages, a lot of lessons to be learned from this. There's a lot many things you can ponder into, think about, and try to understand and analyze. Have a great time. Thank you.